Hello YouTubers and welcome to the Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner through the witchcraft and power of the magical internet. Now today we're going to be talking about my first airsoft gun that I ever received professionally. That being said, before in my early years of airsoft I had been playing with a lot of the models from Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart. Now, Dick's Sporting Goods does carry a lot of the more famous high-end airsoft guns, but they cost a little too much to buy. Now, this is before I really truly discovered the internet and had a debit card. Mind you, I was very young at this time, but I got this from evike.com and I was able to get it at a fairly reasonable price. This is of course one of my favorite handguns ever made in the history of the world, and one of my favorite airsoft guns I've ever had. The Mauser C1896 broom handle pistol. Now this is not a full auto version or a blowback version of any kind. This is simply the pull the trigger and it fires gas gun. That being said, I do recommend that you do not use CO2 or propane on this weapon, simply because CO2 will rot the seals. Now that gets on to my first point. The seals on this gun are infamous for falling apart, getting hurt really bad, and when I received it, the seals were very warped and deformed, which caused massive leakage in both of the magazines that I received. That being said, I don't know if that's everybody's story when they got this gun or the magazines, but I do know that the magazines were severely malformed and they malfunctioned quite a bit, and the gas consumption was ridiculous. I would gas it up to about 5 or 6 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and so on and so forth. But the gas would actually leak out of the top valve. On this empty one I will show you, up here, the gas would leak out really bad. That being said, I've heard they leak back from here. I've heard that it even leaks around this area right here. But as you can tell, it's glistening, which means I've silicone oiled the crap out of it. Now, I'll grab a full mag right here. This is the mag I'm going to be using today. This is the first mag it came with that I have, as you can tell by the wear and tear. That being said, I do want to thank my friends here in Wichita, B&B Airsoft, or BB Airsoft. They really came through for me. They replaced the seals for only about $6 on both of them, which isn't too bad considering I could have returned it. I'd have to pay several dollars just in shipping, and then I'd have to pay for the repair itself. That being said, they really did me a solid, and I do salute you guys. You really helped me out quite a bit on this and made this gun video possible. That being said, moving on to the gun and how it fires. Like I said before, this is a non-blowback, which means the bolt or the mechanism that ejects and moves the shell back into place in the actual gun or in the fake gun is not going to move. The only thing that moves is the hammer and the trigger. So yeah. That being said, when you load it, you simply just load it in, and it clicks, and it holds it in. That being said, once the hammer is back, you cannot reach the mag. You can only release the mag when the hammer is not down in the firing position. I do recommend when you get ready to fire this, that you pull the hammer down for the first shot. You don't have to do single action the whole time, but it does help for some reason. I'm not totally sure why. That being said, I also got a Condor, if you can see it, a Condor holster, which is fully adjustable. I recommend you buy one of those because the stocks and the reproductions for these are highly expensive and very unreliable, and the cuts for it are not always going to fit this, so that would be a poor investment on your end, so please just listen to me on that. Overall, it's a very well-made gun. That being said, the magazines are the only thing that have given me grief. I'm going to show you guys how it fires and the action it has. Now this does chrono around, pull the safety down, it does chrono around 350 to 375 depending on how the hop adjusted. Oh, quick reminder, if you do in fact get this gun and it does not come with a hex key, you're going to have trouble finding a hex key to fit the hop up adjustment, which is right up here. It is very small, very minuscule, so if you guys could leave in the description and give me some tips or a tool set that I can buy that would have something of that size. I have yet to have one, and it didn't come with it, which I was really ticked off and disappointed in, but I'll show you guys how it fires. As you can tell, it's very simple action. Now I'm going to take you guys over to the handy dandy cinder block, and we're going to test her out on accuracy. Of course, I'm going to move you guys a little bit forward here, and if you look down a little bit, I'll crank you down a bit. There we go. Alright, I'll take my step back and fire it. Right. So, the gun was fairly accurate. That being said, I do not have a hex key for it. I know I've had it for a very long time, and I should probably be ashamed of myself for not having the tools to operate the system well. That being said, the gun runs smoothly. The magazines work well. Now that they've been taken care of and the seals have been replaced, that's the first thing I recommend you do is you check the seals, add some heavier, thicker silicone oil that can come in a little squeeze bottle. And work with that. That being said, the gun works very well. It's fairly accurate. The only thing I have a problem with is other than the seals on this not being as good as they should be and up to par. I think I might have gotten them used. I'm not sure. They might have abused the magazine. That's the only complaint I really have for e-bike. But the gun itself did not come with the hex key that it needed. They said it would be available, and there's even a slot in the styrofoam, which has long since been gone over the years, but it just didn't come with it, which is really disappointing because you can't adjust the hop-up unless you have that very minuscule, very rare to find hop-up adjusting hex key. Well, guys, this is another episode of the Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner. I'm glad you guys could stop by. Thanks for hanging out. Please like and subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.